what's going on, fam? So what you're about to see is a very brief depiction of the first few weeks of me having the town car sitting here behind me. Bought it up in Georgia, brought it down here to Florida on the back of a tow truck. First thing that I had to do was get the fuel system figured out, which I've got about 80% done at this point. Required a new fuel pump and a few other things. I'm gonna go ahead and just keep videos up to date on what I'm doing to the car. The first thing I had to do was get it running, get plates so I could drive around, you know. So stay tuned, you'll see what's going on from day one up until now in the next few episodes. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. What's up, fam? And how's everybody doing? I'm on the ground under the car, and my objective over the next few minutes is to replace the fuel pump. Now, this car has been sitting for 10 years. A little bit of fuel is getting into the carburetor, so I've already drained all the gas out of it. I've already put new fuel in. I've put a new fuel filter on the top up by the carburetor, which I'll show you in a minute. And there's another fuel filter somewhere along the rail or the frame towards the back of the car, and I've got to find it and replace it. I think there's a bunch of settled sediment in that one, so don't know if I'll be able to show you all this fuel pump that I'm trying to replace, but I'll certainly give it a try. It's pretty congested under here. This is the fuel pump right here, this round thing right here. And there's a stud back in here somewhere, and then there's another one up on the top. This line here sends fuel up to the carburetor, ultimately into the engine. And then this line right here, if we follow it, goes on back to the fuel tank in the back of the car. I don't know if you guys can see all the spider webs and stuff that's still present on this car. I got that clamped off. Now I got to get this off of the fuel tank, and it's dripping fuel, of course. Isn't that lovely? Oh, it's coming out with some force too. So now I got to figure out how to block that. So, all right, gotta go. Well, fam, I got a mess. I got a real mess here. So here's the fuel pump. I got it out, but the problem is the line that feeds the carburetor is right here, and it screws in right here. And this thing is so old that this part right here should swivel on this, and it doesn't even do it. It was stripped out. I had to put vice grips on it. Ultimately, I had to cut it with a pair of bolt cutters, get it off, and then I had to take it inside, put it on the vise, and I could finally get this out. This has to go back into the new one, so I'm going to try and go and replace this line right here, or get a line and just cut it off and start over. Worst case scenario, I'll take a pipe cutter right here, cut this so that this is straight right here. It'll be straightened out. See how it's kind of square? I'll cut this right here, then I'll do the same thing up under the car. Hold on, I'll show you. Okay, so now I'm up under the car. This is the line that goes up to the carburetor, and you can see it is pinched also. I don't know if you can even see that, but this is pinched right here. And yeah, It's pinched, so I got to cut this off so that it is round. So that way I can get a wire brush, clean this up. Then I'll put I'm just going to take a hose just like it is right here. If you look at this, see how we have fuel line, steel fuel line, and then we have rubber hose. So I'm going to emulate this same setup right here over here into the fuel pump. At least that's my plan. So let me try to cut these off so that they're straight. So just so I can do it like that, it makes more sense. Now that I've got these pieces ready to go, I got to find a piece of rubber hose that is this big and some small clamps. I have the clamps, but now I just got all this junk I have in here. I got to see if I can come up with the rubber hose. Okay, fam, I really wasn't able to do much filming while putting this thing in there, but you can see the new fuel pump is installed. I got the lines hooked up. Next question is it going to leak? But before I try that, I'm going to go ahead and replace the accelerator pump up on top. All right, fam. I just love working on these old cars because everything is so easy. So, accelerator pump is right here. There's a membrane, or yeah, I call it a membrane inside of there that is old and cracked. So I'm going to take the distributor cap off. Just to get me some working room up in there. I've got to take these 4 screws off. 1, 2, 3, and there's a 4th one under there. Pull this out. There's a spring inside of there that I got to be careful of. There's a spring inside of this. And put the new membrane pumpy thing in there. See, you can see it right here. The part right in front of my finger. That little part right there that's sticking out. Got to replace that. So I'm going to try to film this, but here we go. All right, fam. Well, I got the old accelerator pump out. And I don't know if you can see it here, but all the cracks along this thing. Look at those. I don't know if the camera's going to catch them, but along that little ridge, all those cracks was a huge problem. There's a huge one right there. I don't know if you can see it, but that was the problem, one of the main problems. So I'm going to try to start the car up now. Look at those cracks right there. That's what's been messing this thing up. I didn't film putting it in. The new one is in. You can see it's kind of the little gold part right there sticking out. It's in. Didn't have a tripod film, so we'll see what happens. I'll try to crank it up.